With only a few days left in August, my kitchen reserves are dwindling, so it's time to plan out next month's groceries. Over the past couple of years, I've watched countless YouTube videos and read different Pinterest posts all about meal planning and found that many are designed around three main things, which is spending less, eating better, and saving time. So in this video, I want to share with you all the mistakes that I've made and how I have compiled all this information into a stress-free monthly routine by setting realistic goals for my budget and my family. The average grocery bill of a four-person American household for the month is between $800 and $900, which was basically my grocery budget before looking into meal prepping. The post that I was reading claimed to drastically reduce their grocery costs and sometimes even by more than 50%. So obviously, I wanted to spend the least amount possible. This was mistake number one. Focusing too much on numbers left me relying on cheap ingredients and lots of repetition in meals. Ultimately, I would end up getting bored of what I had, and instead I would spend extra money on takeout or drive-thru, which completely defeated the purpose. Meal prepping made it easy to plan around healthy, reduced calorie, restricted diets, so if I already have it made, I won't want to eat the processed food, which was mistake number two. Honestly, was I really thinking I was never going to have ice cream or french fries ever again? In truth, these bloggers were definitely saving some time by shopping less frequently and often pre-making most of the meals, which seemed ideal because there were a lot of other things that I would rather do than grocery shop. What I didn't realize was how much record keeping these people do. Between their inventory lists, coupon clipping, weekly charts, recipe books, I enjoy crafting, but the intricacy of these binders that these people had was a bit overwhelming. Besides, I thought the whole point was to save me time, not necessarily to add more things to my day. Good news is, after making countless small adjustments, I have solidified a 5-step routine that allows me to plan and shop for a whole month's worth of groceries, and it only takes me 1 hour. Before we start, I'd just like to say this is not my first rodeo. Over time, I have done the price comparing, so I already know which products I'm going to lean towards. I use these sites regularly, and I'm familiar with their layout, so it makes it easy for me to hammer things out quickly. Don't be discouraged if it takes you a little bit longer your first couple of tries.
Possible. You're doing great.
Let's start with step one, which is check your perishables. See what items are about to turn or the ones that you have a lot of so you can plan to use them before they go to waste. Step number two is compile your items. You're going to need a blank calendar and your recipes. To start, make note on the calendar of any events that will affect your meals, such as working late, parties to attend, hosting company, etc. In doing so, you can plan your meals accordingly to accommodate your schedule. I've found a lot of my recipes from Pinterest and allrecipes.com, so if you're just beginning, that's a real good place to start. Now choose 15 to 20 recipes you know you're going to want to eat. The better they sound now, the better you're going to stick to it in the end. This leads me to step 3, which is placing your recipes into your calendar. I like to start with dinners, and I tend to break my dinners into 3 separate categories, which is daily readies, when I plan to cook that day, big portions when I plan to cook extra that day, and easy meals where I usually warm something up from the freezer. And that could be something that I've already prepped and was going to put into the Instapot, or it could be something that I bought ready-made, like frozen pizzas or chicken nuggets. Now, I place these meals throughout the month in accordance with my schedule. I usually plan big meals if we're going to be hosting, or 1 to 2 days before a stint of late shifts, so we have the leftovers in case we want to use them instead of our easy meal. I utilize easy meals on days we're short on time. Now, I do plan some days for takeout about once a week. I don't always use them on busy days because we do enjoy going out as a family for meals together. I'll finish out my calendar by choosing a few grab-and-go recipes for breakfast, lunch, and dessert. Now, we don't solely rely on these recipes for those meals, and I plan my grocery list to account for that, but this is just an alternative that has helped us steer clear of stopping at gas stations or vending machines. The most important aspect of meal planning and why it takes up the majority of my prep time is variety. Switch up your meal bases, add some handheld options, maybe vary your flavors. You don't need to spend a lot on ingredients in order to make a month's worth of exciting meals. Which brings us to step number 4, and that is organizing your grocery list. Go through each recipe and list the ingredients as you see them. I like to separate my grocery list into 3 separate categories for frozen, fresh, and dry ingredients. As you come across duplicate ingredients, make sure you use a tack mark so you remember how many servings you'll need of that specific item. After you've listed all the ingredients you're going to need for your recipes, check your kitchen for other staples you use on the regular, like milk, olive oil, snacks, and drinks. With a completed grocery list, now we're ready to move on to step 5, and that's putting in our grocery order. How you prefer to shop will dramatically alter your time and cost. Couponing and sale shopping are effective at lowering your budget, but it will take more time and effort as you'll have to plan your meals around the discounts available. Personally, I use Instacart for the convenience. I can place orders at any time of day and then I schedule a suitable delivery time. Also, Instacart was the first delivery service to offer Aldi as an option, and since that's my store of choice, I have continued with them ever since. Normally, I do place 2 different grocery orders per month. The first one being the majority of our items from our grocery list, and then the second one I place again about halfway through the month to replenish our perishable items, stuff like milk, bread, and eggs, things that wouldn't last the whole month. But for full transparency, in this video, I went ahead and ordered absolutely everything from my grocery list, as if I were starting from scratch. So anything that I needed, stock items, baking supplies, condiments, seasonings, and even multiples of items that I would normally be ordering halfway through the month, like extra milk and bread. And the total for that order is listed here. And I also wanted to include a separate order for bulk items that I would normally pick up at the wholesale club store usually once a month. Things to replenish our snack pile, maybe big things of cereal and sports drinks, waters, whatever. And I have that total here. That's a grand total of $377.77. Now, even if we added a generous $75 a week for takeout expenses, that would still bring our whole monthly total to $677.77. I truly hope this video has been beneficial to you in setting realistic expectations for your groceries and your monthly budget. I will leave the details of my 5-step process in the description below. I look forward to answering to your comments and questions, and if you dug this video, I hope you check out my next video where I prep my grab-and-go recipes for the week.